underway. We got the top 5 plays here on NBA.com at number 5. Miami's Okoro White taking White. A little.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
De respuestas con el manojo lleno y vengo como un libro abierto, ansiosa de aprender la historia no contada de nuestros ancestros, con el viento que dejaron los abuelos y que vive en cada pensamiento de esta amada tierra. Quien sabe cuidarlo es quien de verdad la quiera. Vengo para mirar de nuevo, para ver lo cierto y despertar el ojo ciego, sin miedo, tú y yo. Descolonicemos lo que nos enseñaron con nuestro pelo negro, con pómulos marcados, con el orgullo indio en el alma tatuado. Vengo con la mirada, vengo con la palabra, esa palabra hablada. Vengo sin temor a no perder nada. Vengo como el niño que busca de su morada, la entrada al origen, la vuelta de su cruzada. Vengo a buscar la historia silenciada, la historia de una tierra saqueada. Vengo con el mundo y vengo con los pájaros, vengo con las flores y los árboles, sus cantos. Vengo con el cielo y sus constelaciones, vengo con el mundo y todas sus estaciones. Vengo agradecida al punto de partida, vengo con la madera, la montaña y la vida. Vengo con el aire, el agua, la tierra y el fuego. Vengo a mirar el mundo de nuevo. Vengo con mis ideas como escudo, con el sentir humano, a vivir este mundo donde el hombre nuevo busca el contrapunto. Vengo humano, vengo como tú, en busca de la huella, de la pieza del árbol y de su corteza, que guarda en su memoria que el canto de victoria cuando vimos de la tierra lloramos con tal euforia. Ya abrimos así nuestros brazos tan encadilados y nos acurrucamos al origen de los tiempos, a la fuente del universo donde yace el sentimiento de vivir este comienzo. Vengo con la sangre roja, con los pulmones llenos de rimas en mi boca, con los ojos rasgados, con la tierra en las manos. Venimos con el mundo y venimos con su canto. Vengo a construir un sueño, el brillo de la vida que habita en el hombre nuevo. Vengo buscando un ideal de un mundo sin clase que se pueda levantar. Vengo con el mundo y vengo con los pájaros, vengo con las flores y los árboles, sus cantos. Vengo con el cielo y sus constelaciones, vengo con el mundo y todas sus estaciones. Vengo agradecida al punto de partida, vengo con la madera, la montaña y la vida. Vengo con el aire, el agua, la tierra y el fuego. Vengo a mirar el mundo de nuevo. Vengo a mirar el mundo de nuevo. Vengo en busca de respuestas con el manojo lleno. Vengo buscando un ideal de un mundo sin clase que se pueda levantar. Vengo con nuestro pelo negro, con pómulos marcados, con el orgullo indio en el alma tatuado. Vengo.
When I enter the building. I drink some, keep it in my poncho, light up like Castro, blow out from get-go, pro when I said go, roll like an afro, play like Ronaldo, hot like I'm death row, wasting, light as a pillow, don't turn my tiptoe, like
We got James Harden and that beard of his. Look, this guy's relentless. We know he's going to attack the basket all night long. So I'm going to make it my personal mission to keep that from happening. As long as we keep jumping those passing lanes, we can give them a run for their money. I know I'll be ready.
Welcome, everyone, to NBA basketball here on 2K Sports. Tonight, it's Noche Latina, celebration of Latin culture in the league. It's become an annual tradition and a very good one. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my colleagues Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. The Bulls happy to return to Chicago after the road trip. Going with an almost entirely new group here. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Taj Gibson. Morris checked in for McDermott, and it's Jackson in for Derrick Rose. And then for Houston, Jones checked in for Howard. Montejunas comes in for Michael Beasley. And Corey Brewer's subbed in for James Harden. So on the floor for Houston, Trevor Ariza out there with Montejunas. Then it's Corey Brewer. Then there's Terrence Jones. And so both teams trading buckets as we end the first quarter. Rockets ahead, up 3. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. And Dwight Howard.
Basketball. This is my passion, you know.
It's an interesting concept that Dwight has to take something very seriously in order to have fun. He does say he has a burning passion to win a championship. He's been in the finals, and this is a guy that's got still a lot to shoot for, he feels, in his career.
That's a great point, Kevin. And the challenge for Dwight is how to balance how serious he is and how passionate he is with having that fun on the court that he's at.
We welcome you back to Noche Latina, becoming an annual tradition as always here on 2K Sports, and always exciting. And when you consider how the Rockets are doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
Not much room to operate offensively. The defense has been stifling through the first.
Greg, they haven't given up a lot of easy chances at all.
Taking a look at the Rockets, they've got Trevor Ariza. Jones is out there with Montejunas. Then it's Patrick Beverly, and it's Brewer in at the 2. Well, for Terrence Jones' part, a very scary episode to begin last season. He suffered from a rare nerve damage to his left leg.
Yeah, he wanted to be able to play again after missing 3 months. He finally got back out on the court. Good for him, because I enjoy watching him play.
Portis, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And a switch here also for Houston. Smith is checked in. Houston leading by 5. Passes it to Beverly. Stolen by Noah. Mirotic against Ariza. 14 feet away. Connects. The jumper drops. Mirotic has got his first bucket in this one.
And I tell you what, the Rockets are happy to have Terrence Jones back and healthy. They tried to acquire Bosh last season. Looked like they had it, but make no mistake, Jones was always going to be a player not only with tremendous potential, but someone that they view as a valuable commodity on that roster.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
It'll go. The Rocket lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Moore.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it. And guys, Terrence Jones, good numbers as far as blocks and rebounding and scoring around the rim. He's also shown potential as far as playing on the perimeter. The Rockets hope he can fill that spread 4 role for them moving forward.
We need to calm down.
Chicago making some changes. Pau Gasol's checked in for Noah. McDermott comes in for Mirotic, and Derrick Rose is subbed in for Jackson. And then for Houston, Dwight Howard. He's checked in for Terrence Jones. Beasley comes in for... A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Rockets lead by 16. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second.
All right, let's get our heads on.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. Chicago making some changes. Jackson, he's checked in for McDermott. And Brooks subbed in for Rose. And then for Houston, Capella's checked in. And it's Brewer in for Patrick Beverly. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Jackson is out there with Brooks. And it's Butler in at the small forward position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
Harden outside. Here's Howard, and he jams it with authority.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Fires the 3. Jackson missing again.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
Chicago's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. The three-pointer off the mark. Last game for Chicago, it was a loss to Orlando.
And it wasn't just about the bad shooting. It was really more so about the bad offense. They just didn't execute well. The screens weren't there. The spacing was poor, and thusly the defeat.
Well, you've laid out a couple of the details that lead to good offense, or bad if you don't execute them. Shooting is just a byproduct of not screening well and not moving the ball or players well. They didn't execute anything on the offensive end.
And he gets the bucket. Jackson's got 5 points so far.
He can be a matchup nightmare if he can get it in the paint.
Harden up top. Brooks covering. Dishes it to Howard. The 10-footer hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Howard's got 6 here in this quarter.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Last season was difficult for Dwight Howard, to say the least, across the board. Worse since, in fact, his rookie year.
Yeah, he just wasn't able to stay healthy. I mean, looks dominant in spurts. Gets you thinking, okay, he's back. Then his body betrays him.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
Here is Harden. So on the floor for Houston, Terrence Jones out there with Montejunas. Then it's Smith. Then there's Beasley. And it's Harden in at the point guard. Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
McDermott's checked in for the Bulls. Houston also making some changes. Decker's checked in for Montejunas. Andrew Godlock comes in for Michael Beasley. And it's Terry in for James Harden.
He's just too quick for his man. Left him in the rearview mirror and knocked it down.
Jackson against Terry. Jackson misses.
Their rebounding has been off the charts today, guys. Reason number 1, this game is out of hand.
Exactly, Clark. Their lead is not surprising. given their advantage on the backboard.
Decker with it, now guarded by Mirotic. Decker can't hit.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Outside Jackson.
You know, one thing we saw a lot of last season during the playoffs was the hack-a-shack plan, pretty much purposely fouling a poor free throw shooter. A lot of differing opinions on it, as it wasn't fun to watch for the viewers, but many feel it's a legitimate part of the game if it works.
And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Rockets.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've gotten out in the transition.
The hack-a-shack or the hack-a-Jordan or the hack-a-whatever being a focus of the playoffs last season. We saw it up close and personal. It opened up a debate, Greg, on whether or not it should be allowed. What do you think?
You know, it's a touchy subject. I remember last summer, or spring, I should say, the commissioner touched upon it. You know, one of the concerns is, do you want to change a rule for an entire league when it basically affects two players? And so it's something that you got to be sensitive to. But to your point, the fans don't want to see that ugly style of basketball.
It's boring. It slows the game down. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Jackson missing again.
Some of the shots he's taken have been real head scratchers. I mean, come on. He's out there playing like it's a game of horse at the park.
Decker kicks to Jones. Houston moving the ball around. Back to Terry. Fires the three. And it's Terry again missing. The Bulls have gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one make. Terry against Jackson. There's the triple. No good. Good work defensively by Terry. Houston's gone 7 of 15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. Jones, no luck. Chicago's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Jackson, so the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And the Rockets have lost out on some free agent wars the past few years. They have remained competitive, but you wonder what could have been if they landed or kept some of those big names.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Dunleavy's check in for McDermott, and it's Brooks in for Moore. And with the Rockets, it's no secret that they take a very analytical approach to team building. Greg, you and I talked about that. Clark, you know, you wonder if that hurts them in free agency.
Well, you know, when your front office makes no qualms about viewing players as simply just assets, it can be a hard sell to a free agent.
Gasol, a screen on Terry. The drive by Brooks. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
Good display of physicality by Gasol to set that shot up.
Houston's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Smith right side to the paint. Here's Decker. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Well, there were a few complaints last season about how the playoff seeding was done, most notably in the Western Conference. Portland was the 4th seed for winning.
For Houston, they've gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. Screen by Smith. Beasley kicks to Howard. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3 seconds into the playoffs last year, with Portland being a division winner, but getting that 4th seed. That played a huge role in this conversation about playoff seeding structure. San Antonio would end up playing the Clippers in the first round, even though both had better records than the Blazers.
Kevin, no doubt it's a tricky situation. Listen, you want to reward teams for winning their division, but every so often it comes at the expense of several other teams, like it did last year, who just play in stronger divisions. So I think that's something that the league is going to have to look at moving forward.
Smith, no luck.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D. Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Rockets.
But, Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out Clark, this kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And for the year now, they'll ramp up their win total to an even 40.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And that next meeting, Greg, will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in a 2-game season series. So I think the next game will be hotly contested.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Harden. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in. You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Straight frustration right there, and I agree with you. Self-control of your emotions, a must-have if you're going to play winning basketball.
So we see the Rockets taking the win here. A resounding victory for them. And
yes, gentlemen, I'm here with Jake.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, James Harden. He was the engine that drove this team the whole night, and his teammates had no problem harnessing the power of that motor.
Well, his shooting percentage up there in the high 50s speaks to how smart his shot selection was. It was really an intelligent game he played.